Abraham Lincoln's life story is filled with amazing achievements. Most people know him as our 16th president who led America through the Civil War. They know about his famous Emancipation Proclamation that started freeing slaves in Confederate areas and his powerful Gettysburg Address speech. But there's another side to Lincoln that many don't know about. He was an incredible wrestler. Standing at 6 feet 4 inches tall, Lincoln towered over most people of his time. His incredible strength came from years of hard work on the frontier, where he split rails for fences and worked on farms. He could easily lift heavy logs, showing just how strong he was. When he stepped onto a wrestling mat, these physical gifts combined with his quick thinking and determination made him really hard to beat. Lincoln started wrestling when he was young, competing in matches across Indiana and Illinois. He quickly became known as someone who was both tough and fair. His long arms, strong grip, and clever moves helped him win most of his matches. But wrestling wasn't just about showing off his strength. It showed the same determination and never-give-up attitude that would later make him a great president. Back in the 1800s, wrestling was huge on the American frontier. Men would gather at local events to test their strength against each other. These matches drew big crowds who loved watching displays of strength and skill. The rules were pretty simple, and sometimes there weren't many rules at all. Wrestlers could kick, trip, and even pull hair. To win, you had to either pin your opponent down or make them give up. Wrestling taught important lessons about working hard, never giving up, and respecting your opponents. These skills were super important on the frontier, where life could be really tough. One of Lincoln's most famous matches happened in New Salem, Illinois, in 1831. His opponent was Jack Armstrong, who led a tough group called the Clary's Grove Boys. These guys were known for picking fights and testing newcomers. Armstrong was really strong and wanted to show up the tall newcomer Lincoln. Everyone in town came to watch, placing bets and getting excited about the match. The two men carefully watched each other as they started wrestling. Armstrong tried to use his weight to overpower Lincoln, but Lincoln was smart. He used his long arms to keep Armstrong from getting too close. Both men fought hard, and neither one could get the upper hand for a long time. The crowd watched in amazement as these two strong wrestlers remained evenly matched. Finally, Lincoln made his move. He used his long arms to lift Armstrong off the ground and slam him down hard on the mat. The crowd went wild. Lincoln had won, showing everyone both his strength and his smarts. Some people say Lincoln wrestled almost 300 matches and only lost once. While we're not sure if those numbers are exactly right, we do know he was an amazing wrestler who rarely lost. Even people who didn't like him at first came to respect him after seeing him wrestle. Lincoln eventually stopped wrestling when he got into politics, but the lessons he learned from wrestling stayed with him his whole life. The skills Lincoln gained from wrestling helped him a lot in politics. Just like he had to think quickly during matches, he had to make smart decisions as president. His physical strength gave him a powerful presence, and his wrestling experience taught him about strategy and finding opponents' weaknesses. These skills worked well in politics, where he used his smarts and way with words to handle tough issues and win people over. Lincoln believed in fighting hard but playing fair, whether in wrestling or politics. He respected his opponents even when he disagreed with them, something that really helped during the tough years of the Civil War. Throughout his life, Lincoln faced many hard times. His businesses sometimes failed, he lost elections, and he suffered through the death of his son. But he never gave up. His tough frontier life and wrestling experience taught him how to handle hard times. He knew what it felt like to get knocked down. But more importantly, he knew how to get back up and keep fighting. This helped him lead the country through the Civil War, even when things looked really bad. He understood that making progress often means making sacrifices, and real strength comes from pushing through tough times. Lincoln's impact goes way beyond his wrestling achievements. He's remembered as one of our greatest presidents, someone who kept our country together during its hardest time. and helped make freedom and equality mean something for everyone. His life shows us that someone from humble beginnings can reach the highest office in America and do amazing things. Lincoln's story reminds us that we all have inner strength that can help us overcome life's challenges. In 1992, Lincoln was added to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. While most people remember him for his work as president, this honor shows how important wrestling was in making him the person he became. His story teaches us that success isn't just about being physically strong. It's about having strong character, determination, and the ability to keep going when things get tough. These qualities, which he developed while wrestling, helped him throughout his life and led him to greatness. Lincoln continues to inspire both wrestlers and non-wrestlers, showing us that the lessons we learn from sports and competition can help us in all parts of life. How many wrestling matches do you think a president could win today? Drop a comment below with your wildest guess. For more incredible stories, hit subscribe and that notification bell. Want more untold historical secrets? Check out these mind-blowing videos.